it chapter by chapter, one bite at a time. So many adventures and mountains we can climb. Take it word for word, line by line, one bite at a time.
Welcome to Bite at a Time Books, where we read you your favorite classics one bite at a time. My name is Bree Carlile, and I love to read, and wanted to share my passion with listeners like you. If you want to know what's coming next and vote on upcoming books, sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com. You'll also find our new t-shirts in the shop, including podcast shirts and quote shirts from your favorite classic novels. Be sure to follow my show on your favorite podcast platform so you get all the new episodes. You can find most of our links in the show notes. But also our website, biteatatimebooks.com, includes all of the links for our show, including to our Patreon to support the show, and YouTube, where we have special behind the narration of the episodes. We're part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you'd also like to hear what inspired your favorite classic authors to write their novels, and what was going on in the world at the time, check out the Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please note, while we try to keep the text as close to the original as possible, some words have been changed to honor the marginalized communities who've identified the words as harmful, and to stay in alignment with Bite at a Time Books' brand values. Today we'll be continuing Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Chapter 7. The Wisdom of Tholomyès. In the meantime, while some sang, the rest talked together tumultuously all at once. It was no longer anything but noise. Tholomyès intervened. "Let us not talk at random, nor too fast," he exclaimed. "Let us reflect, if we wish to be brilliant. Too much improvisation empties the mind in a stupid way. Running beer gathers no froth. No haste, gentlemen. Let us mingle majesty with the feast. Let us eat with meditation. Let us make haste slowly. Let us not hurry. Consider the springtime. If it makes haste, it is done for. That is to say, it gets frozen. Excess of zeal ruins peach trees and apricot trees. Excess of zeal kills the grace and the mirth of good dinners. No zeal, gentlemen. Grimaude de la Reynière agrees with Talleyrand." A hollow sound of rebellion rumbled through the group. "Leave us in peace, Tholomyès," said Blachevelle. "Down with the tyrant," said Fimuel. "Sunday exists," resumed Fimuel. "We're sober," added Listolier. "Tholomyès," remarked Blachevelle, "contemplate my calmness." "You are the Marquis of that," retorted Tholomyès. This mediocre play upon words produced the effect of a stone in a pool. The Marquis de Montcalm was at that time a celebrated royalist. All the frogs held their peace. "Friends," cried Tholomyès with the accent of a man who had recovered his empire, "come to yourselves. This pun, which has fallen from the skies, must not be received with too much stupor. Everything which falls in that way is not necessarily worthy of enthusiasm and respect. The pun is the dung of the mind which soars. The jest falls no matter where, and the mind, after producing a piece of stupidity, plunges into the azure depths. A whitish speck flattened against the rock does not prevent the condor from soaring aloft. Far be it from me to insult the pun. I honor it in proportion to its merits, nothing more. All the more august, the most sublime, the most charming of humanity, and perhaps outside of humanity, have made puns. Jesus Christ made a pun on St. Peter, Moses on Isaac, Aeschylus on Polynices, Cleopatra on Octavius, and observe that Cleopatra's pun preceded the Battle of Actium, and that, had it not been for it, No one would have remembered the city of Torn, a Greek name which signifies a ladle. That once conceded, I return to my exhortation. I repeat, brothers, I repeat. No zeal, no hubbub, no excess, even in witticisms, gaiety, jollities, or plays on words. Listen to me. I have the prudence of Amphiaraus and the baldness of Caesar. There must be a limit, even to rebuses. Est modus in rebus. There must be a limit, even to dinners. You are fond of apple turnovers, ladies. Do not indulge in them to excess. Even in the matter of turnovers, good sense and art are requisite. Gluttony chastises the glutton. Gula punit gulax. Indigestion is charged by the good God with preaching morality to stomachs. And remember this, each one of our passions, even love, has a stomach which must not be filled too full. In all things, the word finis must be written in good season. Self-control must be exercised when the matter becomes urgent. The bolt must be drawn on appetite. One must set one's own fantasy to the violin, and carry oneself to the post. The sage is the man who knows how, at a given moment, to effect his own arrest. Have some confidence in me, for I've succeeded to some extent in my study of the law according to the verdict of my examinations. For I know the difference between the question put and the question pending. For I've sustained a thesis in Latin upon the manner in which torture was administered at Rome at the epoch when Munatius Demons was quaestor of the parricide. Because I'm going to be a doctor, apparently it does not follow that it is absolutely necessary that I should be an imbecile. I recommend you to moderation in your desires. It is true that my name is Felix Tholomyes. I speak well. Happy is he who, when the hour strikes, takes a heroic resolve, and abdicates like Sylla or Origenes. Favorite listened with profound attention. Felix, said she. What a pretty word. I love that name. It is Latin, it means prosper. Tholomyes went on. Quirites, gentlemen, caballeros, my friends. Do you wish never to feel the prick? To do without the nuptial bed and to brave love? Nothing more simple. Here is the receipt. Lemonade, excessive exercise, hard labor, work yourself to death, drag blocks, sleep not, hold vigil, gorge yourself with nitrous beverages, and potions of Nymphaeus. Drink emulsions of poppies and Agnus castus. Season this with a strict diet. Starve yourself and add thereto cold baths, girdles of herbs, the application of a plate of lead, lotions made with the subacetate of lead, and fomentations of oxycrat. I prefer a woman, said Listolier. Woman, resumed Tholomyes. Distrust her. Woe to him who yields himself to the unstable heart of woman. Woman is perfidious and disingenuous. She detests the serpent from professional jealousy. The serpent is a shop over the way. Tholomyes, cried Blachevelle. You are drunk. Pardieu, said Tholomyes. Then be gay, resumed Blachevelle. I agree to that, responded Tholomyes. And refilling his glass, he rose. Glory to wine. Nunc te bace canem. Pardon me, ladies, that is Spanish. And the proof of it, senoras, is this. Like people, like cask. The Araby of Castile contains 16 litres, the Cantero of Alicante 12, the Almute of the Canaries 25, the Quatrain of the Balearic Isles 26, the boot of Tsar Peter 30. Long live that Tsar who was great, and long live his boot, which was still greater. Ladies, take the advice of a friend. Make a mistake in your neighbor if you see fit. The property of love is to err. A love affair is not made to crouch down and brutalize itself like an English serving-maid, who has calluses on her knees from scrubbing. It is not made for that. It errs gaily, our gentle love. It has been said, error is human. I say, error is love. Ladies, I idolize you all. Oh, Zephine, oh, Josephine, face more than irregular. You would be charming were you not all askew. You have the air of a pretty face upon which someone has sat down by mistake. As for favorite, oh nymphs and muses. One day, when Blachevelle was crossing the gutter in the Rue Guarin-Boursault, he espied a beautiful girl with white stockings well drawn up, which displayed her legs. This prologue pleased him, and Blachevelle fell in love. The one he loved was Favorite. Oh, Favorite, thou hast Lonian lips. There was a Greek painter named Euphorion who was surnamed the painter of the lips. That Greek alone would have been worthy to paint thy mouth. Listen, before thee there was never a creature worthy of the name. Thou wert made to receive the apple like Venus or to eat it like Eve. Beauty begins with thee. I've just referred to Eve. It is thou who hast created her. Thou deservest the letters patent of the beautiful woman. Oh, Favorite, I cease to address you as thou because I pass from poetry to prose. You were speaking of my name a little while ago. That touched me. But let us, whoever we may be, distrust names. They may delude us. I am called Felix, and I am not happy. Words are liars. Let us not blindly accept the indications which they afford us. It would be a mistake to write to Liege, to for corks, and to Pau for gloves. Miss Dahlia, were I in your place, I would call myself Rosa. A flower should smell sweet, and woman should have wit. I say nothing of Fantine. She is a dreamer, a musing, thoughtful, pensive person. She is a phantom possessed of the form of a nymph and the modesty of a nun, who has strayed into the life of a grisette, but who takes refuge in illusions and who sings and prays and gazes into the azure without very well knowing what she sees or what she is doing, and who, with her eyes fixed on heaven, wanders in a garden where there are more birds than are in existence. Oh, Fantine, know this. I, Tholomyès, I am an illusion, but she does not even hear me, that blonde maid of chimeras. As for the rest, everything about her is freshness, suavity, youth, sweet morning light. Oh, Fantine, maid worthy of being called Marguerite of Pearl, you are a woman from the beauteous Orient. Ladies, a second piece of advice. Do not marry. Marriage is a graft. It takes well or ill. Avoid that risk. But, bah, what am I saying? I'm wasting my words. Girls are incurable on the subject of marriage, and all that we wise men can say will not prevent the waistcoat makers and the shoe stitchers from dreaming of husbands studded with diamonds. Well, so be it. But my beauties, remember this. You eat too much sugar. You have but one fault, O woman, and that is nibbling sugar. Oh, nibbling sex, your pretty little white teeth adore sugar. Now heed me well. Sugar is a salt. All salts are withering. Sugar is the most desiccating of all salts. It sucks the liquids of the blood through the veins. Hence the coagulation and then the solidification of the blood. Hence tubercles in the lungs. Hence death. That is why diabetes borders on consumption. Then do not crunch sugar and you will live. I turn to the men. Gentlemen, make conquest. Rob each other of your well-beloved without remorse. Chassez across. In love, there are no friends. Everywhere where there's a pretty woman, hostility is open. No quarter. War to the death. A pretty woman is a casus belli. A pretty woman is flagrant misdemeanor. All the invasions of history have been determined by petticoats. Woman is man's right. Romulus carried off the Sabines. William carried off the Saxon women. Caesar carried off the Roman women. The man who has not loved soars like a vulture over the mistresses of other men. And for my own part, to all those unfortunate men who are wildflowers, I throw the sublime proclamation of Bonaparte to the army of Italy. Soldiers, you are in need of everything. The enemy has it. Tholomyès paused. Take breath, Tholomyès, said Blachevelle. At the same moment, Blachevelle, supported by Listolier and Femuel, struck up to a plaintive air, one of those studio songs composed of the first words which come to hand, rhymed richly and not at all, as destitute of sense as the gesture of the tree and the sound of the wind, which have their birth in the vapor of pipes, and are dissipated and take their flight with them. This is the couplet by which the group replied to Ptolemy's harangue. The father turkey cock's so grave, some money to an agent gave, that Master Good Clermont Tonnerre might be made Pope on St. John's Day fair. But this good Clermont could not be made Pope because no priest was he, and then their agent, whose wrath burned, with all their money back returned. This was not calculated to calm Ptolemy's improvisation. He emptied his glass, filled, refilled it, and began again. Down with wisdom. Forget all that I have said. Let us be neither prudes, nor prudent men, nor prud'hommes. I propose a toast to mirth. Be merry. Let us complete our course of law by folly and eating, indigestion in the digest. Let Justinian be the male, and feasting the female. Joy in the depths. Live, O creation. The world is a great diamond. I am happy. The birds are astonishing. What a festival everywhere. The nightingale is a gratuitous élève. Summer, I salute thee. O Luxembourg. O Georgix of the Rue Madame and the Allée les Observateurs. O pensive infantry soldiers. Oh, all those charming nurses who, while they guard the children, amuse themselves. The Pampas of America would please me if I had not the arcades of the Odeon. My soul flits away into the virgin forests, into the savannas. All is beautiful. The flies buzz in the sun. The sun has sneezed out the hummingbird. Embrace me, Fantine. He made a mistake and embraced Favorite. Thank you for joining Bite at a Time Books today, while we read a bite of one of your favorite classics. Again, my name is Bree Carlile, and I hope you come back tomorrow for the next bite of Les Miserables. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com and check out the shop. You can check out the show notes or our website, biteatatimebooks.com, for the rest of the links for our show. We'd love to hear from you on social media as well.